My question is on maples. Are there different training techniques and growing techniques for the various cultivars of Japanese maples? The answer is, although most maples can be trained and grown the same way, some varieties have certain characteristics which are very important and should be used when you're designing them. The wiring and repotting and cultural care is the same for all of the Japanese maples I found in the past 50 years. So I'm going to go over 7 different cultivars which are popular for bonsai, and we'll talk about them. First one is Kiyohime. It's got a very strong horizontal habit. So it's best to use it as a cascade or semi-cascade bonsai. Like many of the dwarf varieties, the top, the crown, tends to die and is very weak after 20 years. I've seen it sometimes, especially in Japan. This variety is very easy to root from cuttings. Very easy. It can be air layered too. Like other dwarves, they generally don't respond well to summer leaf defoliation. Sometimes I've had trees not leaf out for the rest of the year. Leaf cut in June and a leaf out the following April. And Kiyohime branches are very brittle, so they break easy. This is a Kiyohime Japanese maple, started from one of my cuttings about 30 years ago. Another cultivar is Kashima. It has an upright growth pattern, and therefore it's best to grow it as an upright style. It roots easy, it doesn't like to be defoliated, and it's a good variety. Leaves tend to get very small. This is a Kashima, twin trunk. Kotohime. This probably has the smallest leaf of all the cultivars, but it's very strongly upright, fastigiate. It's difficult to get horizontal branches. The cuttings root very easy. Also air layer is very easy. You can easily air layer heavy branches. Sometimes root them too. It's a good grower. The leaves are very, very dainty. However, they rarely put on good autumn color. This award-winning Kotohime maple is getting ready for another exhibition. It was started from an air layer. It's actually the top off another bonsai. Arakawa, the rough bark Japanese maple. This maple presents a very coarse feeling. The leaves can be reduced, but the stems are very thick. So it's difficult to make it into a fine quality shohin bonsai. The rough bark develops on the trunk and the branches. However, if you take a cutting, the cutting surface roots will also develop rough bark. I've seen many of them, rough bark maples with a smooth surface roots, and look funny. They root easy and they air layer easy. So air layering should be easy for rough bark maple to find a tree for shohin bonsai. Again, don't leave cut inside. This is Arakawa, a rough bark Japanese maple with a beautiful old bark. The Shojo. This is one of the ones that leaf out bright red, and as the summer goes, they tend to go green. The leaves tend to become smaller. It's very difficult to root. Like most maples, this one is grown to be appreciated in spring with the emerging shoots and in winter with the fine twigs. Again, don't leaf cut. Autumn coloring is rare. It doesn't root from cuttings, so sometimes air layering or grafting. When you do graft, you got to find a good one that doesn't have a big bulge. The cultivar de Shojo, grown for the beautiful spring growth. Next cultivar, Shishi Gashira. This is an old cultivar, and you can easily find this in garden centers and rare plant nurseries, also dwarf conifer nurseries. It grows very tiny. You can get big shoots that grow up. It's difficult to wire because there's hardly any shoots. So you have to develop this tree primarily by trimming. Guide wires are another way of moving branches of this tree. It does not root easily, however, air layering is very easy. So it's very common to have a tree in a garden and trim the tip of the branch until it looks like a bonsai. Once it has a nice shape, air layer, put it right in the pot. It doesn't respond well to leaf defoliation, well, they're very small anyway. You usually get good autumn color with this. Another award-winning bonsai, Shishi Gashira. The last cultivar is Sagan. This one too also has bright red leaves in spring. It's often used for bonsai in Japan. The leaves reduce. The branch can be easily wired. It's not as stiff as some of the other ones. I haven't been able to root it or air layer it, only by grafting. So you have to find a very good grafter that grafts low on the trunk. Through the years, leaves will reduce nicely.